All right, let's get some music first. Good morning, people. Let's just get a little music first. Okay, let's bring in some tonality, set the vibe before today's lesson begins. Let's get a little, let's get a little this. Let's get a little this first. Okay, bam. All right, enough of that. All right, so cursing around your kids. You know, when you curse around your kids, you curse your kids to be cursed. Now, what I mean by that is when you start looking at the Bible and the way the Bible looks at cursing, it tells you do not curse. And the reason why it's telling you that, is because of the spirits that are behind it. So usually when you start to curse, it is usually a spirit of anger that's followed by it. And/or it's a spirit of anger that's causing you. It's actually probably the spirit of anger itself. A lot of people casually curse, but that's because the spirit is already in them. And they don't realize it. They think it's them doing it. No, there's a spirit inside of you that's making you say these words. You're like, how can a spirit make me say these words? A spirit can make you walk out in the middle of the street and get hit by a car. A spirit can do that if you're not aware of what it is or how to fight it. Good morning, Scott. So be careful of these spirits. They're very powerful. But as far as cursing, if you walk around saying the F, the B word, and all this other stuff, you will always hear these words in your head. I say this and I say it again. There is no voice without a body. If you're hearing stuff in your head, inaudible, that's because somebody is standing beside you saying these things. You can call it what you want to. But unless you understand the spirit world, then you'll never understand it. You'll think that you did it. This is why when you go in your house and you say these words around your children have now picked up that spirit. They're going to say what you say. And you think it's cute, but it's not cute. Because those spirits are dangerous. Know this, there is no spirit that works by itself. Not one. The Bible clearly illustrates how they run in packs. They're called legions. They run in packs. The Bible tells you how one of them will go and get 7 more that's more powerful than it. So if you use this language, a spirit can go and get 7 more spirits from hell. The Bible tells you that it goes into waterless places. And when it returns, it brings 7 more spirits more powerful than it. This is why you hear people, when they start one thing, they start another. Drinking and smoking. Lying and cheating. You always hear somebody say, oh, now they're drinking and smoking. Or now they're lying and cheating. Or now they're this and that. That's because those spirits run together. Cursing and lying. They run in packs, they run together. So when you casually mother effer this and son of a bee that, all these words that you're saying, it is a spirit that is in you saying these words. You don't believe me? Say in the name of Jesus, be gone from me, spirit, and see what happens. Your body will start convulsing because that spirit is trying to come out of you. And it will eventually if you keep using in the name of Jesus and Holy Ghost and all other weapons of war. That spirit will have to leave you. It can't stay there. But not all spirits leave you. There are more powerful spirits that you have to use fasting and praying for them to leave you. Like if you like to screw, if you live a life of lust, if you live a life of You like to go out, just cause harm to people. You have a spirit of gluttony. You like to gather things to yourself and don't want to let them go. You like to eat a lot, just constantly eating, and you're just getting obese. Those spirits don't leave you they don't just in the name of Jesus. And Jesus even talked about that. He says some spirits won't leave you unless you fast and pray, meaning you need to sacrifice. And unless you sacrifice yourself to the Lord, then it's not going to happen. Those spirits will stay in you for the rest of your life. And then they'll jump to the next generation. And that's the problem. Now your kids have inherited your spirit. That spirit that you grew up with, and cursing and all that, and whatever it is that you're doing, all these words that you're saying, you're not only inviting that into your house, you're inviting lustful spirits into your house. You're inviting disobedience in the house. You're inviting witchcraft into your house. And now you see your kids are what you call turned up, and you think it's cute. Oh, my kids are so bad. I can't stand it when mothers say this. Oh, he's so bad or she's so bad. It's like, do you even know what you're saying? Do you know the life that you're inviting this child to? Do you know the life that you're letting the enemy have over your child? You don't know because you're not spiritual. But if you were spiritual, you would never say these words. Oh, my child, he's so bad. You'll be like, my child is a good child. My child is a blessed child. My child is a child of God. My child is a child of the day. My child is a child of light. My child is blessed in the name of Jesus with the holy fire from the throne of God. My child is surrounded by angels. This is what you would be saying. You would not be bragging about how bad your child is. You would not admire other people who are running crazy and just doing wild stuff. You would never admire that. Look at some of these rappers that you guys listen to, and look at the life that they're living and how fast it ends. Look at what's happening to the most popular rappers right now. Where they at? They're either dead or in jail. And they're surrounded by security because their life is constantly in danger. And you admire this? This is the life you subject your children to. Look at all the shootings and all the killings that have been happening. Just black on black crime. Just look at that. I mean, it is crazy. You can't go anywhere. I mean, Juneteenth. I mean, you can't go anywhere without thinking it could go down right now. And if you let those spirits surround your child, somebody is not going to care about your child. They're going to look at your child and they're going to do whatever they want to that child. As a child. Let's get it straight. It's not, oh, you grew up and you're 25 and then something that. No, you're 7. If you don't believe me, look at the news. What did what just happened a couple weeks ago? These gangsters could not get to the person they wanted, so they knocked off a 7-year-old little girl on purpose. They shot her in the car. They were aiming at her. They weren't aiming at him because he wasn't there. They were aiming at her and the mother. And they definitely wanted her. And they took her out of here. Just because they wanted the enemy and they couldn't get him because he's surrounded by security. And you're thinking, oh, they're not going to touch my child. Wrong. Your child is gone now. This just happened a couple weeks ago. When you are constantly talking death, when you're constantly talking about what you're going to do to somebody, and all these other things that you bring into your house, you bring it around your children. And when you bring it around your children are no longer protected by the Lord. You can walk yourself right out of a blessing, and your whole family right with you. The mother too. While you guys are swinging around guns and acting a fool, and you mothers who allow this to come into your house, it's your fault. Just as well as it's the guy's fault. You knew that guy's an idiot. You knew that guy was 100% dangerous. You knew that guy, the lifestyle that he lived. You know the death that he speaks in his everyday. He runs around, doing this, saying that, cursing, swearing, and all these other things. Bible says, do not curse. Bible says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. There is a reason for that. There's a reason. And some of you are finding out the hard way now. Your children is out there lost. Yeah, go look at some of these. Go look up soft white underbelly. Look it up. And listen to those girls. Listen to their story. Listen to those girls. Listen to the story. Most people see my sons love how they interact with other people. I believe it has to do with how I taught them to respect themselves and others 100%. And I always pray for that thankful. And you did right. Because if you do not do these things, your children are at risk. They are at risk of being taken advantage of in any shape, form, or fashion. Any shape, form, or fashion. Even as an adult, your child will get taken advantage of if you don't constantly protect your child. That's it and that's all. Listen, your own people will take advantage of you just to get to your child. Whenever your child walks out the house, they walk out with something somebody wants. It could be in their pocket. It could be them themselves. It could be their organs. What happened to that one guy when he was in, I think it was in California? Yeah, and that little boy that in the gym, that little boy, they're reopening his case. They found him wrapped up in the gym, in the mat. You know what they did to that little boy? What they did, they took his organs. This is a high school boy. They took his insides. When the people went to look at their child was all the organs were taken out of this child. The black market. This is no accident. And it was a grown man that happened to, a black man. They found this guy thrown into the bushes. And when they found him, his organs were gone. If you don't think that's coming, from higher up, you're fooling yourself. That is coming from way up there. Organs are highly, highly valuable. Highly, especially if you're a strapping young man, which both of these cases they were. They were well-fit young men, and they took their organs from them. Right here in America, it's happening right now. They were wrong. Never settle with them if they were wrong. Like I see. Yeah. Quit saying certain things around here. Quit letting your children say the F word and hey, good morning, King Kong. I did, and I responded to him. I just did it this morning though. Yeah, I responded to him. Yeah, quit letting your children curse. Hey, good morning. Yeah, quit letting your children talk like that. I'm trying to read the name here. I'm sorry, I couldn't read your name. My glasses are not in here. But yeah, when you curse around your children will be cursed. Period. Dot. They will say things they're not supposed to say. You're not even supposed to say them. Even in the throes of passion, and we're all guilty of that. But you know what's happening? I mean, listen, when you're getting it in, when you're getting it in and you start saying these words, guess what? You're not alone. You let these words slip out your mouth, and look, you can't say these words. Because these words bring other spirits, and these other spirits are not playing whatsoever. None of them are. None of these spirits are playing. I really like this music. So I just wanted to say that because I saw a video recently where this mother was letting her children to say anything. And I felt bad for the children because the children are highly unaware of the spirits that are now inside the children. And when the children walk out the house with these spirits in them, listen, the spirit knows itself. See, that's the thing. When you, okay, so when you walk outside and you see your neighbor, you're like, hey neighbor, right? You know that neighbor. You're like, that's my neighbor. Or when you call a family member, you like call a family member up. You're like, yo, that's my family. We know each other. We grew up together. We do the same thing. The spiritual world is just like that, except millions and millions of times more and worse. There's a lot more of them than there ever will be of us. And they run in packs. So when they have a little boy run around toting guns, talking about what he's going to do, or when you put tattoos on your child, you have now marked that child with a spiritual marking. It is so dangerous to put tattoos on anybody, but especially if you put them on a child. I saw a video where they had this baby, Florida baby, all tattooed up, and it just hurt me so bad to see that. That child is gonna catch hell. Anyways, so I just wanted to say these things. And yeah, I want to make a video so you guys could, I don't know, just wanted to get at you guys real quick today. And be careful what you say. And then, for those of you mothers and fathers who have done a good job in raising you, yeah, no, the answer is no tattoos. The book of Leviticus says do not put markings on your body. What is going on? Yeah. The book of Leviticus. No. Yeah, I have a daughter. I don't talk to her though. She grew up with her mother, so that's whatever. But yeah, book of Leviticus talks about tattoos. Don't put tattoos on your body. See, your body is precious to God. That's why when you do things to destroy it, it pisses God off. Your body is a temple of the Holy Ghost. It's precious to him. It's very, very valuable. Well, yeah, you're correct. Absolutely correct. Hold on a second, you guys. Absolutely correct. 100%. Yeah, you're correct about that. Yeah, demonic spirits. It tells you not to do it. And as soon as you do, you invite those spirits into your life. Yeah. Along with cursing, along with you notice how gang members have these tattoos on them. And some of these, like, okay. Some of these rappers, some of your favorite rappers, been around for a long time. Most women get them for sexual purposes. Yeah, well, see, women are turned, okay, so women are turned on by energy signatures. And it's a natural thing. The highest energy signature is what women gravitate to, because if they have a child by the person with the highest energy signature, there's a good chance their child is going to have a high energy signature. It's more biological than anything. This is why you have rappers, actors, dancers, other performers, presidents and leaders, and people who make a lot of money but mostly are famous. People who are famous get a lot of, these females, and these females want to mate with these men and want to have children by them. This is why you have rappers who have 7, 8, 9, 10 children, but not by the same baby mama, because the baby mama just wanted a child by him. For a lot of reasons. One, to get that check, and another, because that person has a high energy signature. He has a high energy output. So there's a good chance that that child is going to have a high energy output. Women nest, you know what I'm saying? So, they want to go where they think that their child has the best chance to survive. So, there's a lot of things that are incorporated in that. They want their child to be the healthiest. They want their child to, of course, be financially, stable and things along that line. But that's really what it is. It's the highest energy output. But a lot of times you'll see that energy output is bad energy. You'll have a child by somebody who has an energy output that is not really good for a child. You'll have, a case in point, there is a gangster who is in Chicago prison right now. And what he did, this guy's energy output was he's in it for life. But this guy is so dangerous, he's pretty much running the prison. And all the he had 5 female guards that he impregnated. 5. He was knocking all of them off. And you know what? None of them cared. Now, mind you, a prisoner is, I don't like that glare. If someone is a prisoner, they are property of the state. So if you have sex with a prisoner and they find out, then, the state comes after you because they file a claim against you. They file a criminal charge against you. So all of these women who are guards know this, but they was like, we don't care. We're gonna give up everything, and that's exactly what they did. They lost their jobs. They're possibly going to be put in prison themselves, and they just don't care. Why? Because this one man has a high energy signature output, and all of the guards knew each other. So a lot of these females talking about, oh, I wouldn't let another woman. You don't know that. I wouldn't let another woman be with my man. You don't know that. It depends on the man you choose. And if you choose a man like that, then you almost have no choice but to let other women be with him. I was listening to a video recently, and the woman said, listen, she was running down the statistics, how there are not enough men. And then she said, listen, for you women who get these men, that's not your man, that's our man. Because there are just not enough men in the world. She's like, you are going to share that man. That's our man. And that's it. That's all. But yeah, the highest energy signature is what these females go after. I hear many men say they won't date women with tattoos because they are too comfortable with straight men who do tattoos. They say they tie in with her being too loose. I'm gonna tell you something. Last year, I was in Lowe's or I was in Home Depot, and this young lady was doing a survey. I was asking this guy a question. He worked there, and a young lady walked up, and she worked there too. She was doing a survey. Pretty little 20-ish. I don't even know how old she was. She was just cute as she could be. And she basically, she said, I need your number so we can, do the survey. I was like, I'll give you my real number if you come and cook for me. She said, I'll cook for you. And I was like, and I thought about it for a minute, and then I looked her over. And when I saw that tattoo, I was like, nope, that was it. That was it. She just kind of looked at me like, what are we going to do? And just as cute as she wanted to be, when I saw that tattoo, that was it for me. That was it. I like my females clean. I don't want you to have no markings, and that doesn't mean that you're just a good woman because you're clean, but that's where it starts for me. I don't want to see no markings on you. I don't want to see no affiliation or nothing. I like them clean. I want to look at you up and down, and okay. I don't want to see nobody's name on you. I don't want to see no Chinese marking on you that means something that I don't know about. I don't want to see the word written on you, John 3:16. No, get out of here. Because that all has gang ties now. People use the Bible the Bible has always been gang related. The Bible has always been gang related. Where do you think the wars of the Romans and the Jews came from? That's where they came from. Came from the Bible. Yeah. All the crusades are because of the Bible. The Magna Carta, the Bible. the Spanish Inquisition, the Bible. Terrible people took the Bible, manipulated it, raised armies, and went and killed millions and millions and millions of people. Yeah, just a terrible thing to do. So the Bible has always been gang related. And this is why, when I see, all this stuff written on, I'm like, I'm not doing it. And me, I'm not thirsty. I don't need to be with or around a woman. I don't need to talk to a woman. My phone does not ring. I don't sleep with anyone. I just chill. So I'm not thirsty. And trust me, she was hot. But daddy don't want no problems. I don't want no problems. And all I can think of is one of your little boyfriends is going to come running over here. You know what I'm saying? Because my plan was, I buy the food, you cook the food. That was my plan. But if you're going to cook the food, you got to be in my house. And I was like, nah, I'm not bringing this into my house. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking we could eat. You know what I'm saying? Watch some, Amazon Prime and just have a good time. That's me. I don't want nobody knocking on my door asking if the girl here, and then want to beef with me and try to come to my house. I don't need that. And if I think that's what I'm gonna get, I'm not doing it. Yeah. How do you think people know about it? And that's a very dangerous spirit too. That spirit also comes with cursing. Because when children start cursing, what are they being? When children curse, they're being what? Rebellious. And what does the Bible say about rebellion? The Bible says rebellion is of witchcraft. That's what the word says. So when you have somebody rebellion, being rebellious, it is of witchcraft. Don't play those games. I don't watch stuff with witchcraft in it. And if you look at Netflix, Netflix is full of stuff that has witchcraft. You gotta be careful. You know what I'm saying? And even some of my favorite shows, like one of my favorite shows has witchcraft in it. And I'm like, damn, I gotta stop watching this. And it was Castlevania. In animation, I love animation. But it has witchcraft in it. It's like, it has, demons, devils, because of Dracula. So you gotta be careful of what you watch, because you can invite that stuff into your house. Okay, so I used to play StarCraft. On that StarCraft, I used to play World of Warcraft. And what I did was I worked from, I forgot my hours. Anyways, I'll work 8 hours, come home, turn on World of Warcraft, and I would play all the way into the morning. I would play that game for like 8 hours straight. And then I started thinking, this has a spiritual hold over me. And so I said, I have to start denying myself. And sure enough, when I start denying myself, I kept getting that draw, that want to play it. Ooh, level up your character. And I kept hearing those voices. And I was like, okay. And even while I was playing the game, I was telling other people, this game has a spiritual element to it. Yeah, be careful of what you do. Stubbornness and rebelliousness rejects the word. Yeah, rejects the word of the Lord. Be careful of the things you say around your children. Because when your children start becoming rebellious, because you're cursing around them, they're picking up those spirits. And what do they start doing when they get old enough? They're smoking and drinking. And then they're, screwing. And then, and listen. Nowadays, listen, when I was growing up, doing bad was going out when your parents told you not to. Just going outside. That was bad. That was a level of bad. I mean, these kids are toting pistols. These 10 and 12-year-old kids are going to jail for murder one. Murder one. I mean, 18, 19, murder one. Accessory to murder. The getaway driver. I mean, look at these children. These are children. Some of them are not emancipated. Look at those 2 girls in Chicago, what they did to that old man, and they killed him. They killed that man. There were 2 girls who were stealing his car. And the guy realized that they were stealing his car, and he tried to stop them. And they were in the passenger seat. One was in the passenger seat, one was in the driver's seat, and he was in the driver's side door. He was in the driver's side door, and they hit the gas. Went down the street, turned the car over, and flipped on him. Killed him instantly. That's murder one. No, it's not. It's manslaughter. It's manslaughter. Because it was unintentional. That's still 25 to life. 15-year-old girls who should be enjoying their whole life. Yeah. Oh, it was DC. Those girls in Walmart. They killed that girl in Walmart. And then got on social media and said, so what, she's dead. So what, she's dead? I mean, it was so hardcore that even the people who were following them on social media jumped right on them. And then they turned around and said, we're sorry that we said so much she's dead. These girls were 15. They jumped this girl and stabbed her. No, I'm not having it. It's different today. It's a lot different. These kids are crazy today. I can't do it. They say they may not be chains. There is a lot of carjacking leading to murder and deceit. Well, that's everywhere. There was a guy here in my city who got jacked at a gas station. Some older dude at a gas station. These two youngins walked up on him. Give it up. Yeah, that's what they do. They ride. What they do is they go and steal a car. Then they ride around to go steal other people's cars. So there'll be like 3 or 4 of them stealing cars and just in a stolen car getting on car. Recently, they showed a guy who doesn't like to turn his car off because it's hard to turn on. So he goes into a store, and while he's in the store, these youngins, one started walking around his car, saw that it was on, jumped in the car. The guy came out, get down on the ground. Kid dropped right down on the ground. The other kids drove off in a white car. Police came, they arrested the kid on the ground, asked the guy a couple questions. Asked the guy a couple questions. They said, yeah, these kids, they were in a white car. He said, yeah, we know. That car's stolen too. Well, guess what? Now you're going to jail for Grand Theft Auto. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy out here. And it's not just black kids doing it. White kids doing it. Latino kids. They got my neighbor right here in my parking lot. They tried to cut out my catalytic converter. Yeah, my neighbor told me, she was like, my neighbor's grandmother or aunt or something, she was sitting outside, and she started talking to me, and she was like, yeah, they cut my catalytic converter out last week right here in this parking lot. I was like, what? And I was like, what day was that? She was like, Thursday. I was like, you know what? My car alarm went off that day, and my car alarm doesn't go off for no reason. She was like, well, yeah, it probably. So I said, well, wait a minute, let me go look up under my car. Sure enough, I looked up under there, my tailpipe's hanging off. It's where the tailpipe is working its way back. They cut it right there. It's just hanging there. So I was like, and I know that's wrong, because I've been up under this car not even a year ago. Yeah, they cut it back. I haven't even had that. I've only had that car. I've had that car for 1 year. And I've been up under it a few times. So yeah, they went up under there and they sliced. They tried to cut off that whole section, but my car alarm went off, and then they went and got her, or they might have got her first. She said I came outside, turned my car on, and it was really loud. I was like, yeah, they took it. I mean, they're going to car lots, and they're taking just. I see one video where they stole $300,000 worth of Hellcats. $300,000 worth of Hellcats. They took like 10 of them and drove them right off the lot. And then in another video, they came and took all the wheels off of the Hellcats, off of the Silverados, off of, listen, my rims, just to replace my rims, $2,000. That's just the rims. That's on my truck, and it's an '07. It's just the rims, $2,000. I mean, drink that in. They took the rims and the tires. Okay? On my old Chevy, to replace my tires, $650. And that's on my old Chevy. Could you imagine a brand new Silverado High Country? Okay? A brand new High Country, and you take the rims. Listen, they took the rims, they took the wheels, they took the rims, and I think they took some of the brake systems off. I'm not really sure. Bro, okay? That's like $5,000 each car. And they just hit them. I was talking to a dude yesterday, because, I'm a junker too. I like junking. It gives you a couple, extra dollars. And I was looking at his trailer and I asked him how much it cost. He was like, $650 or yada, 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 because I have a small trailer. He said, I had a bigger one with a double wheel, and it was, longer. It was like $3,000. He said they came and jacked it right off our lot. Took the bolt cutters, boom. I said, that hurt. He said, yeah. I mean, a double wheel trailer, just cut the bolts on it, click, click. It was out. So it's real out here. There was someone who was robbing people years ago. Robbed it. What's going on, D-Dubs? Robbed the wrong one and was shot and paralyzed. Got shot and killed. Oh! Dang! Yeah. I used to get robbed out here at my old place. Guy came, broke into my Chevy, robbed me, and found out he robbed another dude, right around the corner. Cause like I got robbed last night. He was like, yeah, there was a dude, with a white t-shirt on, tall, skinny dude. I said, okay. So I realized when he robbed me, and I said, all right. I was waiting for him the next day at like 2 in the morning. He came around to finish, taking some more of my stuff. And as soon as he popped up, I was looking right at him. I jumped in my car and I followed him. He ain't never came back. That's when I had dreads down to here. He didn't know who he was robbing. Because I was going to end him. I was going to take him out of here. Slow and steady, taking it easy. Yeah, do that. Yeah, I was going to take that dude out of here. Pissed me off. Also found him. What? Hold on, let me read that. I'm trying to Trying to get my. I appreciate you guys talking to me today. Pistons got the number one draft. That's what's up. They also found him. How you doing, Miss King? They also found him stuff with newspaper. Nobody knows what happened. Still today, nobody knows what happened to. Okay, yeah. So you're talking about the Jenkins boy, right? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, man. Catch you guys in a bit. Listen. Yeah, I appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, so they're reopening the case, right? They're trying to find out what happened to him. But I'm gonna tell you something. When, let me say, my inquisitive mind. When I look at how that kid was taken out, he was all by himself. There was no witnesses. It was an adult who did it. It was an adult who did it. And there's probably a kid who helped. Like that kid was probably lured by another kid. Could have been a homie. And so I'm betting there's at least 3 people in on that. Because he was a strapping kid, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't like he was the strongest kid in the world, but these kids are fast. They can get away from you real quick. So my 53-year-old, I can't keep up with any child. I can't keep up with a 10-year-old, let alone a whole teenager. I'm not going to outrun them. I'm not going to be able to hit top speed like they can. But an adult can tell kids what to do. And if kids strongly believe in them, they'll do it. And I'm betting 10 to 1 that it was not a black child. It was probably a group of teens. And that they definitely weren't African American. And whoever the parent or whoever told them to do it, they're tied to the black market. There's just no way in the world that was a casual event. I don't think it was a mistake, and then they wrapped them up into that. I don't think it was an accident. And the funeral home is in on it. That funeral home is in on it. Just look. The funeral home is, that's where dead bodies are. The funeral home is the trap house. That's the freaking trap house. When you really look at it, that's exactly what the funeral home is. And if you can get one of these funeral home directors or whatever they call themselves, you can get them in on the game. That is the trap. The government, the Clintons, and Hillary and this Planned Parenthood, encouraging women, especially black women, to get an abortion. These programs that encourage females to get an abortion was not for the benefit of the woman. We are tricked into thinking that programs are made for us when they're against us. For one, they don't want you to have a bunch of children because they're being outnumbered. Even Benjamin Franklin realized that there are less of them and there are more of us. Okay? That's for one. So how can we slow down their numbers? By encouraging them to kill their children. All this, a woman's choice and empower. That's why I said the women's empowerment movement it is more against you than it is for you. All it's doing is leaving you out there by yourself. So when you have these Planned Parenthood movement, the Planned Parenthood movement that come in and get rid of the child, they're taking that fetus. Allergies. They're taking that fetus and they're using it for stem cell research. You know how valuable a fetus is? Stem cell research, where they are trying to manipulate the cells to regrow limbs, to regrow skin for burn victims, where they're trying to use different types of DNA from animals that can do these things naturally. This is what you're doing, the mad scientists. They're trying to use the DNA of a lizard, a frog, a gecko, and saying, well, they can grow their limbs back, why can't we? They're trying to match that with DNA of humans. Listen, for every one species that is knocked off the planet, there are 3 created. By man. By man. They're the ones who create these diseases. I can only go so far before YouTube, dings me again. I don't want to do that. But nonetheless, so even the males, we're guilty of using the abortion clinic, because we don't want to pay for a child, or we don't want to be connected to this woman, or it'll be easier if we got duped into that too. Our women aren't alone on that. Except women profited off of it. And some women were forced into it. You can't have no more babies. You can only have so many children in the house. You can only have, you can't allow the father to live here. If you have another child, we're going to cut you off the welfare system. All this is systematic. And it's all systematically proven. It's all proven. So, you got to understand how valuable your body is. Especially the womb. The womb is very, 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 very valuable. And they don't look at women as human. They look at women as objects. When they look at the males, when you take your average male, even your average black male, and you look at how tall the average black male is compared to the average white male, and you look at how strong and or fast the average male is compared to the average white male, they are envious of us. Especially the one thing that they cannot get. And they try and try and try, and there is nothing that they have that they can get this one thing: melanin. The hatred that they show for melanin is simply jealousy. They can't get it. They can go to tanning booths all they want. They can take your children and and try to manipulate them genetically all they want, they cannot get melanin. And the reason why they want melanin, is because of one of the number one killers on the planet. And what is that? Cancer. Skin cancer. They can't block their cells from the sun. They can't. They can't block their skin from the sun. That's why this is so important. It's highly, 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 highly valued. Just this right here, something you're born with. I didn't work for this. I was born with it. Maybe it's meant. No, I'm just kidding. But I was born with this. And when I walk outside in the sun, I'm shielded from the dangers of the sun. I don't have cancer. If we get cancer, it's from something else. Pancreatic cancer. My mother had that. Killed her. My brother and my sister have cancer, but it's none of them are lethal. You know, it's something they went and got, you know, whatever for, boom. They're good. But skin cancer, carcinoma, yeah, that's the real deal. All that stuff they put on their skin, that stuff is not for us. When you go and put that stuff on your skin, it starts to ruin your skin. Because it's not made for you. You already have the protection you need. Why do you think they say if you are a certain percentage? Listen, people are going on to this, what is that.com where you find out your ancestry.com? One woman went on Ancestry.com and found out that she had black in her. There was a racist white man who went on Ancestry.com, found out that his grandmother or his great-grandmother was a black woman. And both of these people look just as white as they can be. They were convinced they're white. Find out that you have black in you. And and the government has a rule. If you have a certain percent of black in you, which is I think 1% of black in you, then guess what you are? You're a black person. You're a black person. And these are white people walking around thinking that they're 100% white, Aryan, and all this pride of Hitler and all this other stuff. Just go, oh damn, my great-grandmother was a Negro. Shoot, my great-great-granddad was a slave. Oh, heck no. Shuts them all down. Take down their flags. Humboldt, you don't hear from them. Get off YouTube, talking crazy. This is actually happening. Because if the government finds out that you are a Negro, they act differently towards you. They treat you different. And you may think that's a good thing. No, not unless you're trying to get into college. You know, maybe a couple jobs that might be good, but on a whole, because guess what? Now they can lynch you legally. There is no anti-lynching law. If you are black, they can legally lynch you. There's no anti-lynching law. Yeah, it messes with them. It changes everything now. It changes everything. I'm just saying, the way the government views black people is completely different than the way they view any other race. Look at what they just did for the Asian people. You look at an Asian wrong and that's a felony. Black people were used as they complained about how they didn't get rid of their acne or ruin their skin. Yeah, be careful. Be careful. Because a lot of skin and stuff that, especially you females, you know what your number one organ is? Your skin. It's your number one organ. The stuff you put on your skin can go right into your bloodstream. If you don't believe me, then look at that pregnancy. Look at that patch you ladies used to wear some years ago. Prednisone or whatever not prednisone or whatever the hell that patch was that you would stick on your ass so you wouldn't get pregnant while you're out here, you know, being a floozy. You're out here doing whatever. You'd be like, I better go get me one of them patches. Boom, stick it on you. You didn't ingest it. You stuck it right on your skin. Just somewhere on your body. That one right on the back of your behind. Bam. It stopped you from getting pregnant. How? Because it went into your bloodstream. Which means anything that you put on your skin does what? Goes into your bloodstream. Anything. A poisonous frog. A poisonous frog. All it has to do to kill you is for you to touch it. That's it. You don't have to swallow it. You don't have to nothing. If you lay one finger on one of them blue frogs, one of them yellow frogs, one of them dotted green and black frogs, yeah, you can't touch any of them. And some of the animals that try to eat them die. Just like that. You can't touch any of those animals because it goes right into your bloodstream. You're dead. Some of the stuff that you're putting on your body does not belong into your bloodstream. But you do it anyway because you want to look like Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner is not a black woman. She's not a black woman. What does she know about skincare? What school did she go to know about skincare? I'm curious. What degree does she have to know about skincare? But you'll go out and buy that stuff in a heartbeat. You will go and buy her stuff because she's a what? Made her a billionaire. Nah. It's not for you. Black woman is not for you. Stop buying I was sold by a name. I wanted name brand stuff. I mean, there's stuff that you don't want because of its name. Like I don't wear American Eagle. Why? Because it's cheap. But I'll wear Levi's. Why? Because they're rugged. They're made good. So I'm convinced, that, yeah, some names are good because of the quality that goes into them. But I'm not in danger because I don't wear American Eagle. And, you know what I'm saying, I'll put on Sean John. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, I'm not, even though I don't wear a lot of Sean John. I got one thing Sean John. That's another thing too. The name of something that you went, that you, the name means something. Like, I don't wear state property. State property? I'm going to walk around with something that says state property on my body. Property of the state. What does that sound like to you? I mean, what's that sound like? Yeah, you buy quality because you know better. You want it to last. You want it to do exactly what you want it to do, and you try to test it. See, when somebody comes out with something and you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna try this. Like, you'll try. Okay, so this is lotion. Lotion, just regular lotion. I didn't even do a lot of research on it before I bought it. I said, I got ashy feet, so, I'm dark skinned. It's going to show up. I got to do something about these crusties. Boom, lotion, bang. But some of you who have children, you got brand new babies. You got 1, 2, 3 year olds. You're not just gonna casually walk into a Walmart and pick out any lotion that's there. I'm a guy. I get dirty every day. I work with my hands. I'm all greased up. I'm used to being dirty. Sometimes I have to take 2 showers, okay, in the day. But for a child, you're not gonna casually just walk in and pick up any old, this looks good, and then put it on your baby. You're gonna take it, look at it, and be like, and then you're gonna think, okay, is this product safe or safer? What does it have in it that the other ones don't? You probably already had a talk with a doctor about what to put on a child's body and when you can put different stuff on your child's body, because the child's not going to do it. They're not responsible for themselves. You are. A 2-year-old's not going to the store and saying, hey, I want you to get me Johnson and Johnson. It's just not going to work like that. Okay? They may have a preference because of what you taught them. But other than that, they're not doing research on lotion. But you are. So if you get them cheap lotion, it's going to show on their skin. Heck, you might even, give them a rash from what you've done. If you're just being cheap and fly by night. But if you're studying what lotions to put on and whatever to put on your child, then, everything's going to be copacetic. Now, even though I'm casual about this, I still know, this is what I do when I go get lotion. I'll do it, I'll look at it and go, okay, ultimate healing. That sounds good, don't it? I don't spend all day in the lotion aisle, looking like, but I will be like, boom, vitamin C enriched, bam, bang, hydrates and nourishes, boom, bam. I can't advertise that I look at all this stuff like, excuse me, ma'am, does this hydrate and nourish? Does it have vitamin C? I mean, come on, I'm a whole dude up here. But, I will go like this and, be like, I'll get them corners. I might get the corners right there in out 5. Okay, I might just I get the corners real quick. Okay, I'll take this one. I might get the corners in L5. I'm just saying, that's the type of guy I am. So I'm casual about it, but I'm still aware of good lotion. All right. I can't get away with putting terrible lotion on me because it'll dry up and it'll chafe. Nah, I'm not doing that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I like it to have some body to it, a little thickness to it. You can't have runny lotion. I mean, there's what we call guy science. Okay? There's a guy science to this bottle of lotion that I've chosen over all the other lotions that were $5.99. It ranges from the price to the way it feels to what's in it. And you can do that all with a quick boom, bam, and you're out. Not even 30 seconds. Guy science, boom. But female science is different. Y'all need to take your time, read the back and all this other stuff. Y'all might have to call your mama and see what she raised you on. Is this the same company as, Yeah, you can't have watery lotion. But I'm saying your skin is your number one organ. And what you put on your skin goes into your bloodstream. Your skin is highly, 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 highly valuable. And there's no magic to it, but it is a thing of beauty. It is a thing of beauty. And the people who hate you for your skin are just jealous of you. They can't do what you do. They can't walk out in the sun and stay there all day. They have to have what's called sun screen and or sun blocker. How unnatural does that sound? It just sounds unnatural. When you're blocking the sun from what? From its harmful rays. Harmful to who? I've been out here all day. I ain't felt not one bit of harm. Not one tinge. Been using Palmer's cocoa butter. Come on with the cocoa butter. For 45 years. Yeah, there it is. I do like the way it's on my skin. Yeah. Now, you probably grew up on Palmer's, you know what I'm saying? Your mama probably used some Palmer's. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Now, when it comes to my hair, I use this. I have it upside down because I need more of it. So I can just But I use this, olive oil. It's a lotion. It's even smoother than that. Just throw it in your hair, a little scalp action so you don't get dry scalp. I dry scalp, boy. What I'm saying. So yeah, your skin is something to be celebrated. Your skin is a thing of beauty. And people spend billions and billions of dollars trying to mimic what you have naturally. They can't do it. They can't do it. Even the way we photosynthesize. I just finished using Palmer cocoa butter. Yeah. You got to. And a lot of times when I get an owie, like the other day I was moving the stove or something, I got a little owie right there. And then I was helping somebody move. I got another one right here. Look at this. I was helping somebody move the couch, put the couch down, scratching me from here to here. Got me good. I throw some lotion on it. I'm like, that's going to be with me for the rest of my life. But those are just battle scars from a man who goes out there and gets that money. You know what I'm saying? Like I went out to eat the other day. When I went to order my food, I said, you know what? I'll take some of this, that, and that. They were like, you seem kind of happy. I was like, that's because I made $500 today. They was asked me how did I do it, I was like, the stock market went up, and I sold some things. I made $500. Actually, made over $500. Got the battle scars to prove it. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, you guys, value your skin, because these people would love to have what you have. They would love to do what you do. Like the sun actually charges us, makes us stronger. Just imagine, now this is just hypothetics, but just imagine, okay, so white people had to create sunblocker to stop them from getting cancer. For one, they had to find out what exactly was giving them cancer. Black people did not have to do this research, because we were running around in the sun and it was nothing to us. Morning. But it's, hey, how you doing from London? Been there, like London. Yeah, it always looks like it's gonna rain in London. Yeah, I like London. Soho. Yeah, been there. But so white people created, for one, they had to find out what UV rays were, whatever it is that was causing cancer. And then they had to create something. Yeah, it rains a lot there. Then they had to create something to stop, or to try to stop. Because it's not, it works, but it doesn't work. Then they had to create something to try to stop them from any contact with the sun for long periods of time. Now, when you start drinking that in, you're going, the sun beats down on everybody. Everyone. But if you stand out in it too long, you're gonna die. Period. Die. That's it. If you stay out in the sun, you and your children, you can go out and play volleyball, you can go out and play all this stuff, but what do before they go out there? They spray stuff on their skin. Then they go and get tans. There's a tanning booth at every gym. They go in there and get tans to come out darker. When these bodybuilders, you don't see a pure white bodybuilder. You don't see a 100% white bodybuilder. Then Arnold Schwarzenegger, his era is over with. Whenever you see a bodybuilder, Jay Cutler or Coyer, whatever his name is, they're tan. They don't look like they're from the Caucasus Mountains. They look Middle Eastern. They're tan. That's not an accident. They cannot do what I can do and you can do naturally. And we don't think about it. And because we don't think about it, we devalue it. And when you keep devaluing something God gave you, He will take it away from you. Be very careful of that. It does a lot more to give you a glow. You're not glowing on accident. Let you in on a little secret. You're powering up. If they could do, listen, you could do a test on your body. Yeah. If you can do a test on your body. And the difference, it is when you wake up and you stay in the house, and then when you walk outside, you'll notice a lot of things are happening to you. As soon as you walk outside into the sun, not only is your body getting warmer, your cells are doing different things. For one, is it vitamin D? I got some around here somewhere. Vitamin D. Forgot what it was for, but it has something to do with your digestion. Yeah. It's powering you up. You step out in that sun, you're getting the sun's power. It is actually powering your system. That's why it's bad to stay away from it, especially for us. Then you'll start having to take vitamins to do what the sun naturally does. And one of them is vitamin D. Now just imagine that power, that extra power, just imagine that in a can, in a bottle, in a pill, multiplied. Yeah, multiplied. Let me look up exactly what it does. One of them is vitamin D, and that's one of them. But I'm going somewhere with this because this is showing you okay, I'm gonna look up vitamin D deficiencies. Vitamin D mistakes before buying. How to take vitamin D. Low blood sugar. I'm going somewhere with this. Try not to be in YouTube jail though. What does vitamin D do in your body? Vitamin D helps regulate the amounts of calcium and phosphate in your body. These nutrients are needed to keep bones, teeth, muscles healthy. A lack of vitamin D can lead to bone deficiency, such as rickets in children and bone pain caused by conditions called osteomalacia in adults. All right, so that's just vitamin D. So let me do this. So it's good for your bones, right? What vitamins come from the sun? Vitamin D. Okay, I want to see. Vitamin C. Vitamin C comes from the sun. Vitamin D comes from the sun. Pretty much every vitamin comes from the sun because if there was no sun, then you wouldn't have no vitamins. But direct sunlight, you get vitamin D and vitamin C. Let's look up vitamin C. What does vitamin C do for the body? Sunlight also, 100%. Also known as, vitamin C is also known as ascorbic acid. It is a water-soluble nutrient found in some foods in the body. It acts as an antioxidant. helps to protect cells from damage caused by free radicals. Free radicals are compounds formed when our bodies convert the food that we eat into energy. There's a man in India. This man does not eat. And he's like 75, 80 years old. He does not consume food. All he does is drink water. And they asked him, how does he, get nutrients? It says from the energy around him. The energy around him nourishes his body. There's this little girl. She's actually Caucasian. She eats once every 3 days. One day she went outside. She's like 8 now. One day she went outside and got hit by a car. The car hit her and dragged her for a whole mile before they realized she was under the car. When they realized she was under the car and they got her from under the car, she popped up and walked away like it was nothing. Just walked away like it was nothing. Was dragged for a whole mile. After being hit, it was not injured at all. And the mother says, I only feed her once every 3 days. That's all she'll eat. Not that the mother neglects her. The mother lets her do what she wants, within reason. She's this big old refrigerator right there. I saw the video. She's like, but she'll only eat once every 3 days. And just the happiest thing you ever saw. Her skin is, there's something that allows her skin, for one, to heal fast, and two, to be harder than most people's skin. And she looks just like a normal kid. And it's not that she's invulnerable, but she's close to it. See, when they do these studies on us, when they take these our children and do these stem cell research, they're not only trying to mimic the gift that we have, the natural gifts that we have. They are trying to amplify those gifts. A lot of these super soldier programs that you hear about been going on for years. I'm ex-military. I talked to a guy who was older than me. I talked to a guy, as a matter of fact, I talked to him on YouTube. And the guy told me, he said, I got shots when I went to the military. I've never been sick. Never a day. He's never been sick. There are experiments that they did on us. But you don't think about it because you're regular Army. But they're experimenting on you. That's what I'm saying. In the Kendrick Perkins, it's just a very, very direct. They're very, very direct. Listen, the black market is huge. It is huge. There is a black market for anything that's coveted that the government says that you can't have. Now you can have weed in most states, but there was a black market for weed. There's a black market for organs because people get sick and they need these organs and they need them right away. And a lot of times your blood type doesn't match with somebody else's. So you have to wait years for it. Kimbo Slice died because he needed a heart transplant and he didn't know it. Couldn't find a donor. And he died because there was no one else who had a heart to replace his. So that's how Kimbo Slice died. So when they look at Kendrick Perkins and all these millions of other children, they don't look at them as children. They look at them as replacement parts. And if they can get one of them in the corner and kill them, and then take their body parts. They could use it for somebody in Guatemala in a backyard surgery. Put it right into their body. Not just hold millions of dollars down. No. You go right across the border. You go right across the border where what they're doing to the young people over there across the border is ridiculous. Jennifer Lopez had a movie out about missing Latino females from the age of like 12 to 15. And in the movie, she found a whole grave site full of them where they were just thrown in there. Just hundreds of them. Just discarded like they were nothing. Like they were nothing. Like this thing is real. Very real. That whole thing with Kendra Perkins is the first thing I thought of. I was like, somebody has his organs on the black market. Like, white children, especially boys, white boys are the most highly coveted little white babies are the most highly coveted thing on the black market as far as humans are concerned. Highly, highly, highly coveted. Why? Because of the bloodline. 100%. They pay thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars for a white boy. And that white boy has to come from a certain type of family. And there are couples, newlyweds, who have the resources for the black market. They'll pay a small fortune for that child. Because one, the mother might not be able to have it, and or if they know where that child's come from, that mother she's not even thinking about having children. She'll get a hold of that white baby and raise that white baby as if it was her own. Because they know the lineage. Yeah, this whole thing with Meghan Markle is a prime example of that. They kicked Meghan Markle out as soon as they found out she was black. And when she was talking about she's going to be a princess, and all these black women are talking about, yeah, there's going to be a princess. And, oh no. No. Not today's world. Meghan Markle, her child will never be prince. Now, were there ever black king? Listen, The Last King of Scotland. If you ever looked at that movie, The Last King of Scotland, you know who it's played by? Forrest Whitaker. He's my complexion. There were black, listen, there was a black Egyptian king. Yeah. There's a black Egyptian king. There's a black Roman king. There's a black Roman emperor. As a matter of fact, he's the one that buried Hannibal. Because he was a good warrior. He buried him. He went and found his bones and he buried them. Get it twisted. Yeah, but in today's world, the Queen wasn't about to let that happen. But there have been black people in and out of Buckingham Palace. You better believe it. Laying claim. They're not going to let you know that. Meghan Markle wasn't a black woman until she got discriminated against. Then she became very black. Other than that, she passed as a white woman. She passed as a brunette. Look at her. Look at all the shows she's been in. She doesn't act or talk like a black woman. She was not identified as a black woman in Hollywood. Meghan Markle was a white woman in Hollywood. But as soon as Ancestry.com realized what she was, and she knew what she was, it was lights out. That child, and like I said, going back to Ancestry.com, that's why Ancestry.com is so important. That child, even though it looks white, by Prince Harry, who's a racist anyway, even though that child looks white, that child is 75% white. But just because that child has a tinge of black in him, they kick both of them out of the palace. Get out. Look at the way they treated Prince Philip in New York. Dude is from England. And they said he was the king over here, or the prince over here who was loved. And they made DMX look like he was just in the same paper, like he was just a druggie. It's just like black people love DMX. We don't know Philip. DMX walked among us. He was one of us. He struggled like us. He sold 15 million albums. Philip didn't do a damn thing for us. DMX told us the way it was. If DMX wasn't struggling with drugs, he would have never been DMX. He wouldn't have never, if DMX wasn't robbing people with his dog, he wouldn't have never been DMX. And when you hear him talk, he was always spitting the truth. And even the young guns loved him. I don't know not one person in my neighborhood that loves Prince Philip. Not one. I could go knock door to door and say, hey, did you love Prince Philip? They'd be like, who is he? What did he do? Did you love DMX music? X gonna give it to you. 100%. Because X was one of us. He was your uncle, he was your brother, he was your dad. X was one of us. He was your little cousin. He's one of us. Meghan Markle is still a white woman in my eyes. She's not a black woman. I'm just saying, you guys, you gotta be careful. Be careful how you treat your skin. Because it is highly valuable, it is highly coveted, regardless of what these people tell you, regardless of the fact that they treat us like crap, they cannot do what we can do. They do not have the same power that you have. You can't walk out into the sun without putting something on your body. You can't tell me that you're superior and I'm inferior. The sun is everywhere. You can't get away from it. At one time or another, you're going to step out into it. And I have no fear of that. Nor do my children, nor do my parents. Yours do. You can't tell me that I'm inferior. Now you can tell me that you're good at some things that I'm not. I might agree with that. But you can't just say my whole race is an inferior race. Oh no, we're not doing that. Not with all the scientists that came out of this black skin. You wouldn't have got to space if it wasn't for some females who were just great at math. You would have never got up into space. That rocket ship would have never went off the ground unless them women wouldn't have told you how to get that rocket off the ground mathematically. Street light, us. Okay. The colors that came out of peanuts, us. No. Calculators and whatnot, us. Clocks, us. No, you're not about to sit here and tell me I'm inferior just because you guys are the dominant race in this country. Open, no see. Stay out in the sun too long. Let's have a challenge. Let's see who's superior now. Come on out in the sun and hang there. Hang out in the sun. You're not coming out of that garage without something blocker on. Something that's man-made. Who's the fastest people in the world? Us. Us. And the only reason why you are so-called superior is because you will block a country's visa if they don't help you. If India doesn't help you with all of your India and Africa and all the smart people, if they don't help you with some of your programs aren't going anywhere. They're not. You can't go to one think tank and there'll be all white people there. No, there'll be a collage of colors there. That's it. That's all. There is not no superior race. We're all good at something. White people are real good at being nosy. It's just in them. Here's why most Karens are white. It's not their fault. Actually, I kind of like it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm not going out into the middle of the ocean to try to figure out what's under it. They are. Jacques Cousteau. I love it. When they go diving and all that stuff to see how deep the ocean is, yeah, give me that report when you get back. I'll be right here. Yeah, go ahead and tell me what happened. I'm gonna hang right here. I'll be on the coast, inland, about 40, 50 miles, while you go out there, mess around on all these, Madagascar and all that, going into these caves, going spelunking. Like some of these people go into these caves and they do not come out. One guy went into a cave with a bunch of people. White guy, right? Had a family too. And what he did was, being at the nosy and adventurous person that he was, he saw a hole that he could barely fit into. And what he did was he sucked in his stomach and he went into the hole. The problem is he went all the way until his feet. Look, he went until his feet were shown. And then he realized he couldn't go no further into the hole, and neither could he get out because he sucked his way in. So his rib cage was stopping him from coming out of the hole. They called an emergency crew. Emergency crew shows up. They get down as far as they can to try to get him out of that hole until they realized they could not remove him from the hole. They buried him alive. True story. They went and cemented up that whole place so nobody else could go down in there. And they left that guy there. They buried him alive. He's still there today. See, no, I'm not doing that. There is, in the Antarctics, they just found this out. You know how the heat is warming up all of these, glaciers that have been frozen for, thousands and thousands of years. What they just did, sorry, my nose is running. Sorry about that. What they just did is 100%. So what they just did was they found out that the water that's melting in these glaciers holds creatures. One of the creatures that, and it holds a lot of them, one of the creatures that have just now been released back into the world are ice worms. These worms are over 6 feet long, and they are carnivorous. And they're spawning by the millions. They're living in frozen temperatures. If they hit warm water, it's over. I mean, it's going to take nothing for them to just coming out of your kitchen sink. They're carnivorous, meaning they'll come after you. 2 police officers call of this old lady who was basically a hoarder. When they get to the house, the roaches in the house came out and attacked the police. The roaches attacked the police. Timeout. Foul on the play, roughing the passer. The roaches came out of the house to meet the police to attack. Think about that. Not only that, the roaches had already killed her pets. Listen, I don't think that woman was in danger. I think she was right where she needed to be. I'm gonna tell you a true story. Of course, that was a true story too. I'm gonna tell you something else. I always like to use myself as an example. When I was 27, I was in college, right? Down in Talladega. And one of my professors, had a daughter. The daughter was our age. I think she's a little older than me. And she hit on me, right? And she had a son. Her son was a big, tall kid. He was like 15. He's just a big 6'3", 15-year-old. And I was just like, geez, this kid's huge. Nonetheless, she wanted, to get to know me. So she took, we went back to her spot. She introduced me to her kid. And when I sat down, a roach crawled on me. I was just like, she said, Tony doesn't like my bugs. You ain't say your cat, you ain't say your dog. You could have even said a squirrel and I'd have let that go. But you said your bugs. Before I left, I was going out through the kitchen door. The son was walking in the kitchen and out of the kitchen, in the kitchen and out. And when he was walking in the kitchen, I had looked down and noticed that there was a trail of roaches right where he was walking. And every time he put his foot down, the roaches would separate. And when he picked his foot up, the roaches would close in on where he was. If I'm lying, I'm flying. I thought I was seeing an illusion. I thought it was a trick. I did not comprehend fully. I never went back. I never went back to that lady's place. But I never thought that you could train a roach and/or a roach can train you. But it is the very truth. Those people were trained to live with those roaches. I kid you not. I kid you not. If I wouldn't have seen it for myself, I kid you not. We think that they're just insects. Kid you not. I saw a video where a lady, her whole house full of roaches. The roaches were climbing all over her and she was just walking around like it was nothing. And I mean roaches. Climb right up her shoulder, right in her hair. She's just walking around like it was nothing. There's nothing to her. And everywhere in the house they were there. There's nothing. Just imagine having millions of roaches that are like Joe's Apartment. You ever seen Joe's Apartment, the movie? Oh, I took Joe's Apartment very serious after I saw what I did in Talladega. I was like, wait a minute, there's something here. You mean to tell me that you can have pet roaches, free-range roaches, that will attack a human? Just imagine some people showing up at your house, wanting some static, and you sick the roaches on them. Let's get this understood. Roaches are carnivorous. They don't live in houses. Roaches live in the ground. That's where they live. That's where they come from. They're outside. They don't need your apartment to live. In these cases, these people were living synonymously, is that the word? I think it's the word, with the roaches. I saw another video where these black people, they had opened the door and let this person in, and they had a camera, and they said, these are our roaches. And the whole curtain, from top to bottom, was full. And he took some spray and he went like this, just so they can move. And that whole thing started moving. And they were sitting there like it was nothing. He's like, these are our roaches. Like, they live with us, we live with them. And that's it. That's our story, we're sticking to it. And you can try to attack them if you want. You can get raid or whatever you want to. They'll leave the house, but they'll just go right to the ground, and then they'll come right back up. But here's the thing, these roaches fight back. They attacked the police and killed her pets. No, bro. No. No. Anyways. Yes, Star. A lot of things come through us. We give them style and innovation. Listen, a lot of these white people talking about go back to Africa. I just laugh at that, because for one, you're not from America. And then for two, you brought us over here. We didn't get on the Santa Pinta, the Santa Maria, the good ship Jesus, and come over here. You brought us here. So there's none of that. Not to mention, you fled from the Queen. You fled from the Queen, and that's why the British showed up, and then that's why, Paul Revere and the British are coming. That's what that was all about. You fled from the Queen because she was going to cut your head off. Those British were here to bring you back to England. And you were like, no, I'm free, I'm not doing it. That's what that whole thing was about. So, yeah, you don't belong here either. But they are not superior to us. I used to believe they were. It's simply because they had everything. And they had all the opportunities. They controlled everything. I would get fired from jobs and didn't even know I was fired. Hell, I got arrested before and didn't know why I was arrested. So as long as we're living under those conditions, they believe that they're superior to us, but they're not. They're not superior to us. They want us to go back to our country. Fine. If all the black people went back to your country, for one, the whole jail system would collapse. A third of your army, gone. A third of your army, of the American army, gone. That's not the problem you want. Because you've been using the colored troops ever since we've been here. You do not want that issue. You do not want a third of your army willingly to walk out the door. Scientists and innovators, nope, you don't want that problem. Some of your creators, black, you do not want that issue. You don't want us to go back to, see, an ignorant person would say go back to Africa. A person who is unaware of all the things that we've done for America would say go back to your own country. But you do not want a third of your standing army to walk out. Over 2 million of us are in jail. You don't want that. That jail system will collapse right there and then. Boom. One Thanos snap, it's over. All the people are back in Africa, happy. Nah, you don't want that issue. You don't want that. All the sports that you watch. Can you imagine watching an all-white football team? An all-white basketball team? Go watch the D-League. Go watch Lithuanian basketball. Go watch Asian basketball. Tell me how much excitement you get out of watching Asian basketball. Yao Ming, when Yao Ming came over here, he was bigger than any other star. Why? Because Chinese. He was bigger than any other star because he brought the Chinese with him. There are more Asian on the planet than there is any other nationality. He brought all of those people with him. And even the president talked about how great it was that he was here. You do not want all the black people to get up and dip. Because your sports would not be worth watching. It wouldn't be. Tiger Woods, you can say what you want about him, but he was kicking y'all ass when he was wearing green jackets. And still kicking y'all ass. Can't no average man beat Tiger Woods. Hell, can't no above average man beat Tiger Woods. On a good day, shoot. You can't do it. Fastest people in the world. Look at that Sha'Carri Richardson. She's 21. Let's get this in perspective. Sha'Carri Richardson is 21. She can run at over 24 miles an hour. Let's bring this into perspective. Let's just bring this into perspective. The fastest one in the world to date has ran 24 miles an hour. That was FloJo. You have three other black women who've done the same thing, and only black women have done it. That's Sha'Carri Richardson, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, and Blessing Okapari. 24 miles an hour. That's faster than most men. Just drink that in. No white person has ever achieved that. None. Hey, you're not superior. You can do things differently than we can, but you're not superior. Yeah, they're not going to do that. They're not going to return what they stole. Yeah, they treat us horribly. They need us. Yeah, look at Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron? Couldn't stand him. Because he was a Negro. Love to watch him play ball. Who is more exciting, Hank Aaron or Babe Ruth? Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron, 100%. The speed, the agility. You just don't. The fastest players in football, all black. All. They can't match us. Now there's some fast white guys like BB and his kid. They're both fast, but the fastest guy in the world right now runs a 9.76. And there's two of them. How could I forget that? I've already talked about how smart we are with our scientists. And how those black women helped the space program. Yeah, that's the first thing I talked about. I credited women and their ability, the mathematics you have to use to get to outer space safely. So yeah, I already talked about that. Most definitely. Because that's amazing. They've even made a movie about these three black women. Yeah. You gotta be on a whole different level of mathematics to be able to get you from here to outer space. And return safely. We've had 3 space shuttles blow up. 3. One didn't even go anywhere. One blew up on entry, and one blew up leaving. There is some serious math involved in that. Hold on a second. Yeah. So we've had three shuttles blow up. One had an accident, didn't even go nowhere. Two guys burned up. The other one, in '86, was leaving the planet, and a canister caused a spark, blew the whole thing up immediately. No survivors. The other one blew up because the space station was using cheap. Jealousy is cold. So you quote the scripture. So the third one blew up. The third one blew up on entry because they were coming in hot, and what they did was the heat shields that were the heat shields that they use from the okay, so it comes in like this, right? Has to come in at an angle, and also okay, shuttles don't come in like this. They come in like this, and they also, do like this to knock off the speed. All right. So they sway back and forth when they're trying to knock off the speed. All right. So when this shuttle was coming in, boom, all the heat was hitting the bottom of the shuttle as it does. That's why it's black on the bottom. Now, what happened was the heat got in between the corners of the shields, found just a little bit of space, but it was so hot it heated up the whole thing immediately and it blew it up. Boom, just like that. And come to find out that the space station was using cheaper materials. That's why we go back to name brand and what's cheap and what's not. Using cheaper or less expensive materials up under for the foam that goes in between the heat shields. And what happened is that foam melted away and exposed the shuttle. It just needed a little. It just needed a little bit of a little crap. That's it. Not much, just a little bit, and all that heat ate right through that foam, and then boom, blew it up immediately. They were talking to them on the way in. Next thing you know, they were going, "Are you there? Are you there?" They were blown up. And they wasn't even far from, landing. But that heat, once you're coming in, bang! That was it. Because it was coming in hot. I actually made a video talking about this where I had an idea to alleviate most of the problems with the space station. But now we have Elon Musk, who is doing things differently. And we also have Jeff Bezos, who stepped down from Amazon and has created his own space program. So now space is privatized. And of course, when you have something that's privatized like that, it's just going to be another blood-soaked gold rush, once they settle in space. But the problem is that they're lying to. Now I gotta be careful because I don't want to get put in YouTube jail again. But when it comes to space itself, they're telling us things that are not exactly true. Um, And one of them is the Van Allen belts. It's called Van Allen belts because of the guy who discovered them. Van Allen belts are a group of radiation belts that are surrounding the planets. And they are very, very hard to get through. This is why a lot of people are saying, I don't think, we've been to the moon. And all the moon landings are fabricated. I don't know if it's true or not, YouTube, but this is why people dispute the moon landings. It's because of the Van Allen belts. Plus, there's no wind in space, so how does a flag go like this in space and there's no wind? Also, who took the pictures of you actually landing? Who was that? But, I digress. So, yeah, the Van Allen belts, you can't get past them. And there's also a YouTube video where a guy who is talking to a guy who worked for NASA, and he actually sees him in like a store. These guys, waiting in line to get served. He walks up to him and he says, you work for NASA? And the guy goes, yeah, people are proud to say they work for NASA. And he says, why is it that the astronauts almost drowned while they were in space? And the guy turned around and he didn't say anything. Once again, the question was, why is it that the astronauts almost drowned while they were in space? According to what we are taught and what we see, there is no water in space. Why is it that the astronauts almost drowned while they were in space? Where's the water coming from? We're not talking about they were in the space station. We're talking about they stepped outside of the space station and almost drowned. Why? Well, if you go to the Bible, for one, the Bible says the earth does not move. This is what the Bible says, YouTube. The Bible also said the earth is the Lord's footstool. It does not move. That's what the Bible says. I'm just quoting the Bible. The footstool doesn't move, YouTube. It just doesn't. And, in the Bible, it also says that it's in the book of Genesis, when the earth was made, first there was the deep. Usually something that's, deep is usually we're talking about water. This says there was the deep, and then it says that God separated deeps from the water above and the waters below, and created the expanse, the firmaments. So there's the deep, and the waters above and the waters below, and in between that is land, and then above that is the firmament, and above the firmament is waters above, and it is deep. I'm just saying, YouTube, this is what the Bible says. So if somebody would just, who's not a mathematician or a geologist like myself and you, not unless some of you are mathematicians, and when you would look at that logically, you would go, so wait a minute. It's water below, then there would be the firmament, and there would be water above this, and then there's just land. So there's land, water below, air, and above this is a firmament, something that's stopping the water from coming in. The Bible also talks about when God flooded the world, He talked about the fountains that were opened above and below. In other words, he opened the fountains. See, it didn't rain for 40 days and 40 nights, and that's how the earth got flooded. That's not what happened. What happened is he opened the fountains, and the water came from above your head and below you. The oceans started to rise. That's how the earth got flooded. The oceans rose. God said, well, the Bible says that he opened up the fountains below. So it's just like if you're in a swimming pool and you know how you can swim to the bottom of the swimming pool and feel that water that's coming up, that fresh water that's always being pumped into the swimming pool. That's exactly what happened. He pumped water into the earth from below it. How did that happen? Where did that water come from? And he opened up the firmament and pumped water into the earth. So that's water was coming from both ends. Where's that water coming from? Why did the astronauts almost drown? I'm just saying, YouTube, before you ding me, this is what the Bible says in the book of Genesis and all through the Bible. You can read all about this yourself. Anyone can. The Bible is pretty much free. And you can read it. So, the things we know about space are kind of contrary to what the word is saying. But nonetheless, we'll sit here and believe it. We believe that there is a solar system, that there are 9 planets in the solar system. And Pluto is or isn't one of the, because first it was and then it wasn't part of the solar system. A solar system, so it is a system, which means it has a function, which means anything in it has a function, just like a clock. So you can't just simply exclude a planet. And if you add and or take away a planet, the system changes. So it was there, now it is there, but it's not part of the system. I'm just confused when it comes to these people talking about space. You know, I don't know. I need some type of astrophysic person to explain some of this stuff to me in layman's terms, because a lot of it does not make good, clean sense. You know, the whole make it make sense here. It doesn't make sense. According to what the Bible says, and according to what we are saying, doesn't make much sense at all. The deepest place on the planet is called the Marianas Trench. The Marianas Trench has been measured to be 5 miles. This is our tallest mountain, which is Everest, which is 1 mile, 1,600, it's actually 1,500 feet. So it depends on how you measure the mile. There's a metric mile, and there's 2 ways of measuring the mile. So there's a 1,500 mile and there's a 1,600 mile. Same thing in track. People run the 1,500, people run the 1,600. Really enjoy this. Have to go out now. I will listen to what I'm missing. Replay later. Let's take YouTube. So there are still 2 people left here. Not sure who you are, but if you want to hear it, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. So just let me know. I'll stay on topic, change the topic, or go, guys, let me know. I'm just kind of talking. All right. So, okay, so that's going to get on my nerves. I didn't finish that song. Okay, so Mount Everest. Uh, Mount Everest. I'm going to change the song here. I'm not going to look up Mount Everest. Just tallest mountain. Just some measurements. Tallest mountain in the world. Highest mountain, Mount Everest. Mount Everest is located in Nepal, Tibet. Highest mountain on Earth, reaching 29,029 feet at the summit. Okay, so it's taller than what I thought. Okay, now I'll look up Marianas Trench, if I can spell it right. Of course I didn't. How deep is the Marianas Trench? The Mariana Trench is the deepest part of the ocean and the deepest location on Earth. It is 11,034 meters, which is 36,201 feet. So you can fit our tallest mountain into the Marianas Trench, and there will still be plenty of room to go. Here's the thing. The Marianas Trench is not 36,201 feet. It is a lot deeper than that. In the Bible says the waters cannot be measured. Now, I don't know where they get this measurement from. I'm not a scientist, or I'm not that type of scientist. I don't know how they measured it. This is why I like white people, and their curiosity. Because they know stuff that a lot of us just we don't really care to know. Nonetheless, they came up with this number. Now, when you look at that and then you look at what God is saying, though, you start scratching your head. Because you're like, if I'm going to believe that the gospel is real, I got a real problem with what you're saying right now. You're telling me that at the bottom of this Marianas Trench, you're telling me from top to bottom, it's 36,201 feet. Okay, fine. It's a Mount Everest and a half. All right, fine, whatever. But then the Lord says that there were fountains, or there are fountains that were opened up under the ocean. And he says that it can't be measured. So how are you measuring something that can't be measured? Not only that, you're seeing that the planet is a spinning ball going around the sun in the solar system. The Bible says the planet does not move, and it's the Earth's footstool. Not only that, you're saying that there is nothing but what you call space around this moving ball. The Bible said that there's nothing but water around this moving ball, if it is a ball at all. I'm not going to question if it's a ball at all. I'm saying that according to the Bible, it's not a moving ball. It's not moving at 66 million, whatever mile an hour you're saying that makes gravity. That brings me to the next point. What makes gravity? I thought about that. I was trying to duplicate gravity. And I came up with a theory. I'm probably way wrong. But if I'm right, if I'm right, then you can create not only gravity, you can create anti gravity. And if you can create anti gravity, you don't need speed to launch missiles or to launch, you don't need speed to launch anything into the atmosphere. You can move, an object can move. Okay, the reason why we have such problems with moving objects from one place to another is because of friction. I'm losing my audience. Okay, I'll stop. I'll stop. But it's just some scientific stuff I was going to get into. But, if you guys aren't interested in that, it's cool. But, yeah, I don't know. I just get on my science kick, talk about gravity and, you know, but yeah, so what NASA is saying is contrary to what the Bible is saying about the Earth and how the Earth is made and all these other things, and you can read it all for yourself. So I often look at these numbers and I go, no, the Marianas Trench is a lot deeper than that, a lot deeper than that, and the world doesn't. Boxer Suns, in the world doesn't look like the way we think that the world looks like. The world looks completely different. And here's another thing: the space programs that they have, the privatized space programs that they have, I think they're going to shut them down. This is interesting. I don't know how many of you play the stock market, but when you play the stock market, usually it's for long term. You put your money in it for a long term gain because the stock market goes up and down. There's wins and losses, but there's more wins than there are losses, and then you reap the financial benefit. Correct? Yeah, I don't do crypto, man. It's just too much. Okay, so if you play the stock market, you can also, if you look at a company, you invest in a company, you invest in them for long term, so you can get the long term benefits, right? Well, there are also people who invest in companies because they think they're going to fail. So they put up millions of dollars, and they say, I know this company is going to fail. I know it's going to go down. Well, there is a very rich man who does just this, and he says Tesla's going to fail. He was like, I don't know when, but I'm going to put millions and millions of dollars into saying that Tesla's going to fail. So the more successful Tesla is, the more money he loses. But if Tesla all of a sudden fails, this guy makes billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. Here's what I think. Donald Trump said, he said that Elon Musk is very important to them and we must protect him, right? It's when Donald Trump was president. He's saying he's a very smart guy and we must protect him. That's what he said. Of course, Donald Trump is not the president anymore. And he says he's doing a lot for us, so we must do a lot for him. Now, the group Anonymous, who's upset at Elon Musk, came out and said, Elon Musk, most of your money you make from the government. You get it from government subsidies. That's where most of your money come from. You notice that Elon Musk is not the head of Tesla anymore. Now I'm going somewhere with this. He said you get it from government subsidies, right? So boom. So if he's mainly supported by the government, this means that his program to go into outer space is what? It is a government program. I'm going somewhere. If it is a government program, but nonetheless, it is visualized as privatized. What does that do? It sparks other billionaires to think that they can what? Build space rockets and go into space. Here we go. Jeff Bezos has built a company. He steps down from Amazon and he's concentrating on doing what? Going into space. If Jeff Bezos will not go into space. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if Jeff Bezos and anyone else who's privatized goes into space, for one, there has to be regulated flights. They have to be regulated by what? The government. So the government is the only one who can tell you when and where to go, meaning when and where to fly. That's very important. If Jeff Bezos decides to fly into space whenever he wants to, he will get what? Blown up. Why? Because he will know the truth. If he goes up there and he televises what he sees, he will know the truth. There's no way that's going to happen. No way. If he steps outside of a government regulation, they will shut him down. And if he steps outside of government regulation and he goes into space anyway, they will shoot him down. Now, as far as Elon Musk being subsidized by the government, if Joe Biden comes out and stops subsidizing Elon Musk's program, they will shut him down completely. There will be no privatized flights to space anytime soon. None. There will be nobody flying to space on their own just willy-nilly whenever they want to, because they will get shut down and or shot down, because they will know the truth. And so will you. Thanks to GoPro. Anyway, it's your boy Tone 202. I have to go and check out the stock market, and I got to do some other work. It's nice talking to you guys. Peace.